Well, the badass mama's giving it to the banksters. You know, every time you turn around, one of those banksters kicks the bucket, right? I don't know what. Hey, I should laugh. I don't care. To tell you the truth, man, I really don't care, man. When they're involved in that type of crookery, you know, karma's a bitch, man, or else the bitch is going to give it to you, man. Blast. So I'm going to get on with a couple unusual things here. Actually, I'm going to talk a little bit about, you know, maybe it's an outside chance, but you know, when I looked at the broad scheme of things about how, they talk about the Earth's magnetic poles flipping, and the Earth's magnetic field is actually getting weaker, and the magnetic north has moved very fast, and they're talking about the cold sun. Well, I also think that we don't even need to have any kind of nuclear confrontation to have some type of solar discharge that brings down our electronic world. Well, anyway, actually, what the end is going to be for the banksters anyway by Catwoman. She doesn't even need to get fully dressed to freaking nail the banksters. But, she really works for the main cat here. Here's the guy right here. He's got 2 bottles of booze, man. He's a mean motherfucker. Yeah, so he's got the knife over here and stuff and everything. She works for that cat. So, but I'm going to actually get into a couple other things here because, one of the things you got silver for is like physical silver is because you don't trust. You say, yeah, you don't trust the government, right? Whatever. But you don't really trust the electronic system, too, that much. Maybe that's another reason. It's kind of a hedge, I mean, well, I'm going to get onto something here because I'm actually on a point to another channel, and you can look at the video fully because I'm not going to go over in detail what he went over. But I says, man, this kind of makes me suspect something from another angle. Not only we have, I think the best minds, they don't have everything figured out because nature's stronger than all of us, And the cat could tell you, man, the tough cat's been around. This cat, he hasn't had 9 lives, he's had 99 lives, and he always lands on his feet, man, He's got the bottles of booze, the greenbacks, and a weapon right there. So, anyway, also I want to get on something here in world events. Looks like there was been a big... to do whatever the hell it is with Michelle Obama when they went over there. The Obamas went over there and went over to Saudi, I think it was, and they visited the king. And she wasn't wearing one of those things on her head, whatever the hell they're supposed to do with Islam land. Well, she don't need to because we already figured out she's probably not a chick. But even if she was one, she doesn't need to wear one on her head. You see that deal? She went over there and says, oh, the Muslims got all, Islam got all upset because she wasn't wearing something on her head. I was like, the big joke is that Joan Rivers already said she's a dude, so I don't know. Actually, I don't really have nothing against this. You know what? I don't even give a damn. To tell you the truth, I don't even give a damn if she's a tranny or something, Just don't be a communist. I'll put it to you that way, man. Just don't be a communist. Man, I wouldn't even knock her for this, man. If they came out and said she was a tranny, I wouldn't just say, so what? Just don't be a communist. Anyway, so in the other side of the world too, Putin, he's one thing I said good about him, that he made the GMO labeling of foods the law now. They got to label foods, but I think the real thing behind that was vodka, because they got GMO vodka now. That's the stuff right here in his skull. So what did Russia really do that? They're having major problems with their their economy, and they don't want their people being halfway brain dead due to GMO foods. I'm trying to get off every damn that thing is GMO. I mean, I'm doing all this healthy stuff, and I'm like, I didn't realize GMO is that damn bad for you. And I'm like, wow, where the hell you get stuff that's not GMO, man? I don't know. You got to grow it, man, or kill it or something. Anyway, but the Russians don't want any GMO vodka. Actually, it comes in this Crystal Skull brand here. I don't know. Maybe. That's a badass looking vodka bottle, right? Skull. I'd keep that bottle, right? But, I'm going to get on to something else here. I'm just kind of prefacing things with some of these other things first. Actually, Russia, since they're having all these major economic problems, actually the FBI found that there was this spy team in New York that was trying to, they just indicted them or arrested them or whatever the hell it is, because they're a Russian spy team in New York, and they're trying to find out information inside the banking system on the sanctions or something. You know, actually, I tell you what Russia's doing. What they're probably doing is, well, they already said it. They're doing is more arm exports, more sale of arms and military weapons to other countries. You know, because they're not getting the money on the oil. So, well, hey, let's go sell military hardware everywhere. And actually, recently, Russia said that they're gonna, what the hell is it? They're gonna they're not going to comply with all the nuclear inspectors and things like that they were before under the START Treaty, Strategic Arms Reduction Treaty. They're not going to do any of that stuff. As a matter of fact, he says they can't account for everything. So I'm thinking, yeah, well, a couple of them go missing or something like that. The nations that are unfriendly to the United States, they get a lot of money for it, and it costs the U.S. a problem because something blowing up. I know if something did blow up in the United States, the alternative media would tell you it was a false flag. And I'm thinking, yeah, sometimes there is false flags. False flags are planned, but not everything's a false flag. But no matter what happens, it's going to be a false flag. So anyway, we got other things out here besides the Wall Street cats with the tie. I'm going to actually get on to something here because, yeah, we got the markets. Oil's getting killed again, man. I'm like, yeah, man. Actually, I like to freaking find a way to make that stuff, but. I was looking on YouTube. How do you make freaking gasoline from scratch, man? They're pissing me off. I don't like that, where you got to buy something from somebody, you can't make it, I mean, or at least it's not made by small people, like smaller businesses. But the markets are going down again, a couple hundred points. I mean, it was over 18,000 and down. Now it's down to close to 17,000. Meantime, silver's holding around 18. Palladium's almost up to 800, so whatever. Now, here's what I want to get onto because this is where I'm thinking about. Now, I called attention to this site before a few times, Adapt 2030. Mainly, he's going over the coming global ice age. Now, what it looks like, at first they were thinking it's going to be a cycle, a normal 180-year cycle, like we had the mini ice age in the late 1800s or the 1800s. And then they says maybe it's going to go to the one that's like 400 years ago. That was even more severe. It might even go way past that. He showed this. It was like a bunch of frozen elk, at Echo Lake. I don't want to go over this whole video because I'm probably going to talk longer in his video, man. But he went over this. Just look at his channel. I'm just telling you right now. And it's not like I'm plugging his channel or nothing. I'm just telling you because where these elk froze, it's not what you think it is. That's what I'm getting at. It's not what you think it is. You're thinking, oh, they get froze because it was cold out, Yeah, it was cold out, but they're talking about a cold plasma corona discharge from the atmosphere that came from the upper atmosphere in one fell swoop really fast because of the magnetic fields of the Earth that have been weakening, which they know have been weakening. Like, way back when the mammoths, they were frozen stiff, frozen solid. They found them out in different places on the Earth. And they had grass inside them from like a lush, jungly, hot environment, but they froze solid. Something happened. Something weird happened. Well, there's a big indication that's what happened with these elk. And he goes over all the reasons. Like, there was the government and whatever the hell it was, the freaking conservative forest rangers, whatever the hell it is over there, they're saying one thing, but, they say they fell in the ice and they froze. And I'm like, no. Well, you can go look at his video. But what I'm pointing out is I'm thinking there's such radical earth changes going on with all these crazy snow events. It's just starting. Something by nature could actually screw up our electronic financial system. It could. It doesn't even have to be a war. And, used to hear about, you're thinking about, well, it only happened so many thousands of years. And I'm thinking, well, some of this stuff is happening right now. We got the wake-up call. So I'm telling you, that's another reason to have silver. It's not the reason you should have only silver. Silver's not the only thing you should have. I mean, for crying out loud, man. You can't eat silver, I mean, give me a 9/16 silver wrench. If I had a wrench made out of silver instead of chrome vanadium steel, it would never turn any bolts, right? I mean, how the hell is that going to work, right? So, you know what I'm telling you, you got to actually think outside the box in many areas. It's good to have a lot of skills, too. But I want to call attention to that cold plasma discharge. Actually, this cat, me, meow, meow, I tell you stuff that I'm thinking outside the box. I'm thinking independently. I'm not like, hey, the one says the sky's falling. That could be. And I'm looking at that instance with those elk. That wasn't like they fell in the water, man. That was a flash freeze from something on top of the earth. And he goes into it. You can look on the earth's, if you look at this video, but I'm telling you is that we can actually have a type of event, because we're going into the cold sun right now, that could actually lead to something that can go really wrong with our electronic system, which would mean our financial and communication system too. That's why you should really have silver besides. I mean, maybe it's an outside chance, but when it happens all at once. Like those elk, they're smart enough. They ain't stupid. I mean, it's a 1,000-pound elk, man. They just don't get frozen because they're stupid. The ice is breaking. Let's get the hell out of here. I mean, they test the damn thing. You know what I mean? They have like their engineer elk try to freaking go out there on the lake first, see if the freaking thing's too thin. They don't. Well, he shows you why it was bullshit. Why it really. That looks like one of those cold corona discharge events from the upper atmosphere. And I'm thinking, man, all you need is that kind of crap. They can bring down the grid. And then, what the alternative media would say? It was a false flag. Or, other people would say it was the Russians. Could be nature. Could be nature, man. I mean, how often do they get massive hailstorms in Dubai? Yeah, man, every year, right? That's what happened. That happened just recently. They had almost a foot of snow in the Saudi Arabian deserts. Ugh, something going on, baby. Anyway, just have a swig out of your Crystal Skull vodka, non-GMO. Well, that's one good thing. I mean, there's two things I like about Putin. He'd go to war with Islam in a heartbeat if he had to freaking, if he could. That's okay. And the other thing is he's caused labeling of all GMO foods. I don't know, why the hell's he going to Ukraine? Why does he go into Chechnya or some shit? You know what I mean? What's he going to Ukraine? What's the matter with that guy, man? I don't know, man. I could meet him halfway on a couple things. Now, this lady... Michelle Obama, like I said, man, I don't know. Does she have to wear a scarf on her head? No, I'm not gonna even tell you the truth. Joan Rivers said, as a matter of fact, she was a guy, right? She was a transvestite, whatever. You know what? That ain't really what bothers me about her, man. I know, I guess it's against the Bible or something like that, but I'm telling you right now, what pisses me off about her, she's a sellout with Barack. She's selling us down the freaking road, selling us down the river to China, man. She's a New World Order communist, or the wife of a New World Order communist, and she supports all the bullshit just like Bill Clinton and George Bush do. So, I don't give a damn if she's got a penis or not. I mean, whatever. I mean, big deal. But, it's like, come on, man, God. Anyway, so the cat's in charge, and, he's got the freaking knife right there, man, a little switchblade, and the 2 bottles of booze. But he's got his hit lady out there freaking taking care of them banksters, because, more of these banksters are going to be dead of suicides or falling off of freaking balconies or whatever else going on. It's common sense. Something ain't freaking right, and, something ain't right. It's like, why the hell has all this crap been happening? It's been happening a long time, and every time I could probably put out like, how many dead banksters there are. There's a whole pile of them, right? But it's like telling you something ain't right, big time behind the scenes. But I'm thinking, we also got something else that's wrong. We got other things that are beyond the scope of anything that anybody's planning. And it makes me wonder if the people in power really know what's coming up. I mean, a lot of scientists, you actually look at that shit. I was surprised. I'm looking at, how many views each guy get on his damn thing? 919 views? He should have 9 million views on his damn freaking video. I'm thinking to myself, what the hell's the matter with people? What are they doing? Watching Miley Cyrus or some crap? Come on, man. This is actually a pretty big deal. This is a pretty big deal. It's not just about these elk. It's about how they freaking got flash frozen. They didn't fall in the lake, man. They didn't fall in the lake. Not at all. So I'm going to actually title this video about silver cold corona discharge doom. Just to get your damn attention on it. Because I think there's something to this. That's where I think the actual grid... we don't need to go to war with Russia. We don't need to have a terrorist screw us up. We're going into cold sun. We're going into something that we haven't seen. Like, in other words, all this electronic BS. You know what happened during the Carrington effect in the 1800s? I mean, hey, a freaking telegraph paper caught on fire, brought down the telegraph system. If that happened today, now the 1800s, that was the mini ice age. We're going in something that's beyond the one that was 400 years ago that makes the 1800s mini ice age like nothing. That was like, what the hell you call it? What is it again? Back when New York had, was frozen over on the Narrows between Staten Island and New York. You could walk across the ice for 6 weeks out of the year. We're probably going colder than that. And when this is happening because of cold sun and the breakdown in the magnetic field of the Earth. So, we're not just staring down the barrel of the pea shooter from the cat lady here, man. We're staring down Mother Nature, buddy. And I'm telling you right now, this silver stuff is going to be one of the things, not the only thing, but it's one of the essential elements you got to have. It's pretty good stuff for so many different uses. It's not just an investment, though. I mean, even if you only get 5 ounces and it's for colloidal silver, even when it's not a cure-all, it's still not bad stuff. It's not bad stuff. Even if you get 5 ounces for medicinal purposes, it's still a smart buy, especially at these prices. So anyway, I just want to put out something where, hey, you won't see this on any other place, but I'm suspecting something here big time, man. It only takes one freaking crazy solar discharge, and we can have a Carrington effect times 2. And those frozen elk are telling me it's coming up. I mean, don't hold your breath. Don't freaking worry about it. Just calmly hedge a couple preparation bets that if something happens, you're cool. That's all I'm saying. So, anyway, the lady's going to be, I don't know who's next on the hit list in the Banksters, but Catwoman's going to wham, wham, wham. She's got her orders from the big bad cat in the background, man. He's thinking about it. He's got some Japanese yen here probably. I don't know what the hell kind of money that is. He's Yakuza. I don't know what the hell he is. Anyway, well, we'll see you later.